Radhe Radhe, Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauri Guru Varga ki jai, Patit Pavana Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai, Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai, Radha Gopinath Ju ki jai, Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Harinama Sankirtana ki jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo, Shri Devananda Pandit ki jai, Tadyati Robhav Mahamohotsava ki jai. So, Radhe Radhe. Somehow we're not centered. I don't know which way to go. Oh, I have to go closer to Gurudev's Vyasa-san. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Please forgive me again. I got stuck in the traffic, which has become a very normal part of Vrindavan these days. From Premananda Maharaj, or I think that's what they call him. So he's quite famous, and thousands and thousands and thousands of people come to see him every day when he goes for his walk. So they want their sadhu darshan, but it locks up Vrindavan, especially behind on the Parikrama Marg near the Bhaktivedanta Hospice, which is just directly across from his place. I know that you can't hear me as well as usual, but I found out that the kirtans sound more better, and you can hear everyone else also when we're just using the mic in the phone. And so after that, then I will place the personalized mic for the discussions. So we will begin with Mangalacharan. Mangalacharan is the auspicious invocation calling for the grace, the blessings, the mercy, the sidelong glances of our beloved Srila Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga, Patit Pavan, Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Shachinandan Gaura Hari, going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem, Vrishabhanunandini, Srimati Radha Thakuradi. As Krishna states, and you can find it in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishya Nata Sada Amanana Nritye Nachaya Udbhatta. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am simply her dancing pupil. She makes me dance various novel dances according to her tune. You can find Mangalacharan on page 1 of this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha, starting with Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam. What color are you dressing Thakurji in today?
We dress yes,
Oh, for Ekadashi. Okay. So we have here Phuleshwari, Jagat Mohini, Shyam Prabhu, Krishna Premavati, and Disha and Manorama. Yes, Radhe Radhe. Do you know? The Shyam Prabhu who's here is the one that Gurudev told, I am closer to you than the air that you breathe.
Was that a personal instruction or a general instruction?
He was questioning whether Gurudev understands or knows what's going on in his heart, and Gurudev just told him straight to him like that, and he knew Gurudev knows my heart.
Oh, that's good to know, because I've heard this, but I didn't know what led him to say this. Because I think this question, the answer was to this question, it gives me a lot of clarity for
There's a lot of context.
Thank you.
We didn't know either. We were traveling around, and we went to his house for a program in the UK. And Sudevi was speaking, and she was talking about one devotee Srila Gurudev told, I am closer to you than the air that you breathe. And he just started crying and crying and crying. She's like, what? And then he told us the story. So that quote made it onto the card that they were distributing everywhere, one with Gurudev, and it became famous everywhere. But that's appropriate for each and every one of us.
Yes.
Vandeham Shri Guru Shriyuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavashta Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Radhunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakham Vitangscha Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namah Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayanati Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunashcha Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Pada Jaditaika Hriti Chaitanya Leela Sarasaram Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Gaura Presthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava Itti Namine Ati Martya Charitraya Swashritanancha Paline Jiva Dukhe Sadartaya Shri Nama Premadayine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinakarine Rupanugabdirudhapas Siddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaur Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchirananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugabbarayate Gauravirbhava Bhume Swam Nirdishta Sajana Priya Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Jaganathayate Namaha Manchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jayatam Surato Pangor Mama Mandamatergati Matsarvasvapadambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyat Vrindaranyakalpadrumado Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastho Shri Shri Radha Shri Lagovinda Devo Preshtadibhi Sevyamano Smarami Shrimandra Sarasarambhi Vangshivattattatastitah Karshanvenu Svanargopir Gopinatha Shriyestunah Vrindaye Tulasi Devyai Priyaye Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhaktarupaswarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Radhe Radhe Kamalakanta Prabhu, Rukmini Dasi, Hari Bolo. And who's there? Champak and Geeta and Kamalavati and Ambika and Anangapriya. Radhe Radhe. Like yesterday, because I actually got a late start, we're going to sing the bhajans together. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi. That's for you. Page 32 by Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Gurudeva Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi Trina Bhikshayati Hina Sakala Samane Balladiya Guru Nijamane Sprihadina Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi Trina Bhikshayati Hina Sakale Sama Kurite Shakati Dehonatha Jatha Jato Tapeto Gaivo Harinama Sukhe Aparadha Bhave Tato Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi Trina Bhikshayati Hino Kabe Hero Kripa Lobhiyaye Jana Kritartha Horibe Natho Shakti Buddhi Amiyati Di Guru More Atho Satho Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi Trina Bhikshayati Hino Jogyata Vichari Kichu Nahi Pai Tomaro Karuna Saro Karuna Na Hoile Kadiya Kadiya Karuna Na Hoile Kadiya Kadiya Prano Na Rakhibo Aro Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Guru Edasi Trina Bhikshayati Hino Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Jai Gurudeva Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Guru Parampara ki jai. Hare Krishna. What's your name? Sanatan. Hare Krishna. कौन के लिए? Me? Oh, he has shoes on.
I will.
What is that? Ishwari Mohan ke liye? Okay. I have no idea what it is. Is it heavy? Strange. What could it be? Oh, it says Sudevi's, her name first. I didn't word or anything, so I'm like, what is it? Radhe Radhe Savitri and Krishna Premavati and Vicharu Das Prabhu. Okay. So now we will call out for the mercy of Vaishnavas. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai Doya Koromore. By Sri Radha Mohan Das, page 46. Today, as you may know, is also the disappearance anniversary of Devananda Pandit. So before we speak about going beyond Vaikuntha, we have some very important lessons regarding Devananda Pandit. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Ju Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Sakala Vaishnava, page 46. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai Doya Koro More Dante Trino Dhori Gohe Edina Pamare Shri Guru Charana Yar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Pada Padma Bhavaya More Guru Bhanja Toma Savar Karuna Bine Viha Pravina Visheshe Ajogya Mui Kohilo Nishchay Mancha Kalpataruha Karuna Sagar Eto Bharasa Mui Doriye Anta Unaleshanani Moro Aparadhir Sima Amayudhari Aloke Dekhao Mahima Nama Sankirtana Ruchi Ara Prema Dhana E Radha Mohane Deho Goya Sakaruna Sakala Vaishnava Goshai Goya Koro More Dante Trinna Dhori Gohe Edina Pama Vaishnava Goshai Vaishnava Goshai Vaishnava Goshai Jai Vaishnava Goshai Jai Vaishnava Goshai Vaishnava Goshai Vaishnava Goshai Jai Vaishnava Goshai All Vaishnava Thakurs ki Jai. Radhe Radhe, Bruce Izzy, Dandavat Pranam. So now we will call for the mercy of Rup and Sanatan, our six Goswamis, by Srila Narottam Das Thakur, Shuniyachi Sadhumuke Bole Sarvajan, age 51. And if you don't have our Gaudiya Giti Gucha, and if you don't have the Gaudiya Kirtan app, Savitri Chaprala is posting the bhajan in the comment section of the thread. Radhe Radhe Tum Didi. Hare Krishna. শুনিয়াছি সাধু মুখে বলে সর্বজন শ্রীরূপ কৃপায় মিলে যুগল চরণ মহাপ্রভু সনাতন গৌর পরিবার সবে মিলি বাঞ্ছা পূর্ণ করো আমার শ্রীরূপের কৃপা যেন আম প্রতি হয় সে পদ আশ্রয় যা সে মহাশয় প্রভু লোকনাথ কবে সঙ্গে লয়া যাবে শ্রীরূপের পাদ পদ্মে মোরে সমর্পিবে হেন কি হইবে মোর নরম সখী গণে অনুগত নরোত্তমে করিবে শাসনে শুনিয়াছি সাধু মুখে বলে সর্বজন শ্রীরূপ কৃপায় মিলে যুগল চরণ রূপ সনাতন জয় রূপ সনাতন রূপ সনাতন জয় রূপ সনাতন জয় রূপ সনাতন প্রভু হে প্রভু হে প্রভু হে প্রভু হে श्री रूप गोस्वामी पाद की जय श्री सनातन गोस्वामी पाद की जय श्री सत गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय श्री रूपानंद गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय. Now we will call for the mercy of Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu. Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai. That is Shri Lochan Das Thakur, page 60 in our Shri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Akrodha Paramananda Nityananda Rai Abhimano Shunya Nitai Nagare Mera Adhama Patita Jive Dware Dware Giya Hari Nama Mahamantra Dichena Vilaya Jare Dekhe Tare Kahe Dante Trina Dhoni Amare Kiniya Guru Guru Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. He begs everyone, please purchase me by calling out Gaura Hari. How merciful is that? Now we will call for the mercy of Gaura Hari. Vande Vishwambara Pada Kamalam. That's page 339 in our Sri Gaudiya Kitigucha by Sri Radha Mohan Das. Panibhusham Prabhu Radhe Radhe Krishnamayi Radhe Radhe. And I can't read the Russian name, but Radhe Radhe. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam. Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Vishwambhara Sorabhaka Nishita Nija Janamadrupam. Sorabhaka Nishita Karuna Khandita Viraha Vipapam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Nashita Hridatam Mayati Miram. Nashita Hridatam Paradija Kandya Jagatamochiram. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Satata Virajita Nirupam Ashobham. Radha Mohana Kalita Vilokam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam. Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam. Vande Vishwambhara Pada Kamalam. Vande Gora 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 He. Gora 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 Gora. Gora 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 He. Jai Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari. Jai Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari. Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He, Gaura He. Prem Purushottam Shri Sachinandana Gaura Hari Ki Jai. And now we will call out to Radha and Krishna for their mercy. By the medium of the bhajan by Sri Narottam Das Thakur, Radha Krishna Pranamor, Jugala Kishore. Page 123 in our Sri Gaudiya Giti Gucha. Once again, if you don't have this beautiful treasure trove of bhajans, and you don't have the Gaudiya Kirtan app, we do have Savitri Chaprala, who is posting the bhajans in the comment section of the thread. Jai Dev Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Devaki Priya and Punya ki Jai. Radhe Radhe. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Radha Krishna Prano Moro Jugala Kishora Jivane Marane Gati Aranandi Mora Kalitira Kule Keri Katham Peravano Ratangare Diropa Goshabo Jano Shyama Kori Ange Divochua Chandane Rakantha Chamara Gulabo Kare Heri Mokha Chandra Gathiya Malatir Mala Dibodo Hargale Adhare Duniya Dibo Karpuro Tambule Lalita Vishakayani Jata Sakhi Vrinda Agyaya Puri Bo Seva Charanaro Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dasera Nudaso Sevaya Lasho Gore Narottama Daso Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। राधा गोविंद की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। श्री देवानंद पंडित की जय। दिव्य तिरुभाव महामहोत्सव की जय। हरे कृष्ण। So, before I begin, I have to do a couple of things. I have to put this other mic in so the devotees there can hear. And also, turn off the notifications. Thank you, Gita, for sharing that. And Anjali, Radhe Radhe. It's been a while. Great to see you here. Wow, she remembered the tweet, tweet, tweet. Old man.
Before I used to be able to do the technical, but now it's a
Oops. I did that wrong.
no practice.
No practice.
Yeah, because I did before.
Ah, okay.
No, so
All right. Let's see. Working now. Oh, it says headset use. It may or may not work. There it is. Okay. Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Okay. गुरवे गौरचंद्राय राधिकाय तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय राधिकाय प्रियात्मने श्रीश्रीमद्भक्तिवेदान्तनारायणेति नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं निनतारिणम्। First of all, I offer my Dandavat Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Srila Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandavat Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present, and future, including all of you who are present here physically and all of you virtually, I offer my Dandavat Pranam. So today, we here in Vrindavan are observing the anniversary of the disappearance of Sri Devananda Pandit. Who is that, we might ask? A very, very important personality. We know of two Aparad Bhanjan Peeths, two places where we can go to relieve ourselves from the effects of aparad, which have accumulated over millions of lifetimes. One of them is here in Braj Mandal at Govardhan, Surabhi Kund. It is a place to go to bathe and to pray for removal of those things which are blocking us from moving forward on the path of bhakti. She's not, Yamuna Devi is technically not referred to as Aparad Bhanjan Peeth. Although so many bathe in the Ganga for that purpose and they bathe in Jamuna for that purpose, but specifically for us, the Rupanuga Vaishnavas and those who are aspiring for the dust of their lotus feet, then there's two Aparad Bhanjan Peeths, the place where Aparad is removed. This is what Aparad Bhanjan Peeth is. Yes.
heinous sins.
Okay. So she's saying that in Yamuna Ashtakam it says that she removes millions of sins, all of the sins. The most heinous of sins. Also, if you circumambulate Tulsi Devi, we used to say, Yani kani cha papani brahmahatyadikani cha tani tani pradakshanti pradakshina pade pade. Our Gurudev told us not to do it because that is not really why we are circumambulating Tulsi. We're actually circumambulating Tulsi because Priyaya Keshavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi, because she's dear to Krishna and she can awaken Krishna Bhakti. So he didn't want us to approach Tulsi Devi with this mood of doing this. But in the bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur, Ebaro Kurana Koro Vaishnava Goshai, there it says, Gangara Parasha Hoile Paschate Pavan Darshane Pavitra Koro Eto Maragun. So this is glorifying the Vaishnavas. And it's saying by taking bath in the Ganga, one's sins can be removed. But simply by the darshan of a pure devotee, Darshane Pavitra Koro, one's sins will fly very far away. This is your quality, praying to the Vaishnavas. And Shastra says that actually these sadhus come to the dhams because they themselves are walking places, they themselves are tirtha, so they themselves are like the walking places of pilgrimage. And people come to the dham to remove their sins, so they actually come and dump their sins in the dham. And the sadhus come, and by their presence, they evaporate those sins. So Yamuna may take away all of those sins, and the sadhus will come and evaporate them. Of course, she's a pure devotee of Krishna, so she also can do the same thing. But specifically, there are two aparad bhanjan pits. Srila Gurudev always made sure to be with us at Surabhi-kund. No matter how unwell he was feeling, he would be with us at Surabhi-kund and Mansarovar during Brajmandal Parikrama. So one aparad bhanjan pit. See, the thing is, it's not so easy to get rid of all aparads. Maybe the sin of killing someone, but Vaishnava aparad, this is something a little bit more severe than what is called heinous. Heinous sins can be the sin of hurting someone's mind or their body, or even separating their soul from their body. This is a heinous sin. But that thing which Krishna neglects us for, that is when we are blasphemous or damaging toward his dear devotees. And that is not so easy to get rid of. Not so easy. In the discussion on the cleaning of the Gundicha temple, Hare Krishna, Gundicha Mandir Marjanam, how many times was the temple swept? 2 or 3. And then it was washed a couple of times. But then even after that, they still had to clean up those little bits of tar that stick, and you can't get them up with water. You can't get them up with normal scrubbing. You can't get it up with sweeping. You need to use some kind of special kerosene or something to unstick that tar and to remove it from Hare Krishna. You can come here, there's padding underneath the carpet. It's soft and warm. What's your name?
Arjun.
Arjun. Hare Krishna. And your name? Gaurav. Hare Krishna. So in the history of cleaning of the Gundicha temple, Gundicha Mandir Marjanam, there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of the devotees were engaged in cleaning this temple, but really it represents the cleaning of our hearts. The words that he used were Shitala and Nirmala. One means completely cool and pure, and the other one is so clean. So both of them, Nirmala and Shitala, one is bright also. So it should be completely clean, but those bits of tar are extremely difficult to remove. It's not a simple thing. Haristhane aparadhe tare harinam. If you make offense to Hari, to Krishna himself, simply by taking shelter of his names, those aparads can be removed. Tomasthane aparadhe nahi koeran. Who offends Krishna's near and dear, his tadiya, his pure devotees, he will never forgive. He himself doesn't do that. What did he tell to Durvasa Muni? Durvasa ran when the chakra was burning his back. He fled at the speed of mind. If I say the moon, how fast were you able to think of the moon? That's the speed of mind. Durvasa was fleeing the chakra of Narayan at the speed of mind. That chakra came to protect Ambarish Maharaj. Finally, Durvasa went directly to Narayan and Vaikuntha and said, "Help, I'm burning." And he said, "What can I do? I am not at all independent." If a thorn goes in your foot, can you remove it from your head? You have to remove it from where it went in. Durvasa understood, and by the speed of mind went back to Ambarish Maharaj and fell at his feet and begged forgiveness. So, one aparad Bhanjan Pit is here in Govardhan, Surabhi Kund. And that is the place where Surabhi, the mother of all cows, eternally resides. Indra took shelter of her. Why? Because Krishna would not even look at him. You know what it feels like to not be looked at by Gurudev? 1 day, 2 days. Sometimes he wouldn't look in your direction for 6 months. And it's just like, right? You're like dying inside, but at the same time desperate to receive even one glance. Krishna would not look at Indra, although Indra realized his mistake. What was his mistake? The greatest aparad. He not only tried to destroy Govardhan, all of Vrindavan, every tree, every insect, every blade of grass, every cow, every calf, every cowherd boyfriend of Krishna's, every parent of Krishna's, all of the gopis of Krishna, and Krishna himself. Really, this was like maha aparad. And then Indra came and started apologizing to Krishna. Krishna wouldn't look at him and wouldn't listen to his prayer. What do you do in such a situation? Indra took shelter of the mother of all cows because he knew that Krishna is affectionately disposed toward cows. So he went to the mother of all cows, Surabhi, from Svarga, from the heavenly planets, and petitioned her, "You please help me." So she came before Krishna with Indra behind, feeling completely desperate and like a complete fool. He even told Krishna, "I'm the greatest fool, fool number one." She said, "You are my son, and he's also my son, but he's a bad boy. But please, try to forgive him, and it would please me if you would get along." So she petitioned on his behalf. This is important. That's why we take shelter of pure devotees. If we try to go directly to Krishna, he may or may not hear our prayers. Chances are we don't have that qualification. So we don't even jump into Hare Krishna Mahamantra. First we call out to Guru. Pratamam tu gurum pujam. If you don't first do puja of Guru, which means surrender by your mind, body, heart, words, and soul, then anyata nishpala bhavet. Everything else will be rendered useless. So that's the essential thing. We pray to Guru, we pray to Vaishnavas, we pray to our 6 Goswamis, we pray to Nityananda Prabhu, Sachinandan Gaurahari, then Radha and Krishna. Before Krishna, even Hare, we call to Hare, Radhika. Because Namo Radhikaye Tadiya Priyaye. She's his most dear. So we follow this path, because otherwise how will he hear our prayers? Aparadhi nirantara. In that bhajan, Amara Jivan Sada Paperata, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, Aparadhi nirantar. There is no end to the aparads that I have committed and that I am still committing. I need help. So Surabhi petitioned to Krishna on behalf of Indra. And this is so important for us. Shunya Amara Duk Vaishnava Thakur, Amalagi Krishne Ave Dibena Prachur. Seeing my suffering, pitiful condition. What is that? The distance that I have from Krishna since time immemorial. due to my own offenses. Because I've taken shelter of a Vaishnava, that Vaishnava will petition Krishna profusely on my behalf. Vaishnavera avedane Krishna doyamai. By his prayers, by the Vaishnava's prayers, Krishna will give his mercy, and then I will understand my great fortune. What is the great fortune? My great fortune is that I have been accepted and given shelter by this personality who is Krishna Priyajan. Kintu Prabhurya Priya Eva Tasya, who is near and dear to Krishna. They petition on our behalf, and that's why we hold on to their lotus feet. Shri Guru Charanapadma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. Bando Mui Sabdhan Mate. With great care and attention, beware. Do not let go. Hold on with everything in your power and do not let go. The only way to attain pure bhakti for Krishna is by taking shelter of the lotus feet of his pure devotee who manifests before us in the form of Sri Guru and the pure Vaishnavas. So Surabhi is the example here, and she resides at Govardhan, and our Gurudev would tell us, no one should take any prasad or anything. And even he didn't want to speak until everyone would bathe or at least take achman in that place, Surabhi Kund. Because in case we're wondering why we might be running and feeling so happy and enthusiastic on the path of bhakti, and suddenly it's like we run into a brick wall, we fall over backwards, we stop, we've lost our enthusiasm, there's no more wind in our sails, sometimes we feel like we're going backwards or sideways. What happened? It is the result of some aparad that I have made either in this life or any previous life. Srila Gurudev said that you should know for sure and for certain that if you are having weaknesses in your progress on the path of bhakti, it is due to aparads from either this life or previous lifetimes. So then, how do we get rid of that? We have to take shelter of any pure devotee. So today is the disappearance day of Devananda Pandit. This place, Surabhi Kund, is known as Aparad Bhanjan Pit. Means the aparads from this life and previous lives, the ones you don't even know about that are negatively affecting you from millions of lifetimes, they can be vaporized in that place. The other Aparad Bhanjan Pit is the place of Devananda Pandit, which is currently now known as Devananda Gauriya Math. It is the place that our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, was able to build his temple on. And our Gurudev personally carried tons and tons of bricks from the Ganga all the way to that place on his head to build that temple. But that is the place of Devananda Pandit. So Devananda Pandit was at the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he was very well renowned as being one of the best, if not the best, speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam in all of Goramandal. So everyone would come to hear him speak Srimad Bhagavatam. He was expert. It so happened that one day while he was speaking, Srivas Pandit, that is of Panchatattva, no? Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. So he is the Das, the devotee. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. The aspect of the devotee. And he came to that Bhagavatam recital. But hearing the glories of Krishna emanating from the mouth of Devananda Pandit, Srivas became completely overwhelmed with ecstasy, Ashta Sattvic Bhavs. Now, if someone becomes overwhelmed with ecstasy, they become completely unaware and indifferent to what anyone else does or says, or if anyone laughs or criticizes, they don't know. They're out of consciousness. Evam vratas vapriyanama Jatanurago drita chitta uchay asatyato roditi rotigayat yunmadavan nritati lokabahya. Sometimes crying, sometimes rolling on the ground, hair standing on end, sometimes dancing, sometimes jumping up in the air and then falling on the ground. We've heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doing this again and again. in a state of divine madness. So Srivas was making some kind of commotion during Bhagavatam class. Now, if anyone comes in while Bhagavatam class is going on, if it's a pure devotee, or even if it's not a pure devotee like myself, everyone goes, hey, shh, be quiet, right? So what did his disciples do? They escorted Srivas Thakur out of the assembly. Devananda Pandit continued giving his class. He stayed silent. What did Sri Ramachandra say about silence? Say it slowly in English. Monam sampati lakshanam. It means silence is complicity. This was because when Kaikeyi was banishing Ram to the forest for 14 years, who stayed silent? His father, Dasharath Maharaj. So when they came to bring him back, even Kaikeyi herself went, I changed my mind, please come back to Ayodhya. He said, how can I do that? My father was silent when you were saying that, and silence is agreement. Silence is complicity. So I have to follow his order. Although he did not speak anything, he did not stop what you were saying. Therefore, I understand it that he also was in agreement, and now he has left this world. How can I make him wrong? He has consented to sending me to the forest. So, Devananda Pandit did not stop his disciples from removing Srivas Pandit. It is said that all of those in the vicinity of Aparad, they are also implicated. So Srivas Pandit, he didn't accept offense, he was completely unaware. Who accepts offense on behalf of the devotees? Krishna himself. He accepts offense. If you offend his devotees, he accepts it like a thunderbolt to his own heart. He cannot tolerate this. So Devananda Pandit, he was complicit by his silence. He did not stop his disciples from misbehaving in such a way. And because of this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not want to hear from him, did not like his Bhagavatam class, and in essence rejected him. Oh, I don't like to hear his recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is not different from Krishna, Radha Bhava Dyuti Subalit, Nomi Krishna Swarupam. He's Krishna himself with Radha's bhav and complexion, but he did not want to hear that recitation of Bhagavatam. So in essence, he rejected. But there's something special about the pastime of Devananda Pandit that gives all of us so much hope. See, he didn't realize what had happened, but his recitation became empty. Means expertly said on the external, but underneath, nothing is there. Substanceless. This is the result of aparad. Sometimes you see devotees who are so expert and they're just... But aparad has been made. And on the top it still looks like they're doing really well, but there's no roots, there's no depth. And very easily, it eventually collapses. That whole facade will collapse due to the aparad. Fortunately for Devananda Pandit, he became very affectionately disposed toward a very intimate associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. His name is Vakreshwar Pandit. Vakreshwar Pandit was famous for being able to dance in the kirtans of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 72 hours without stopping. He was an amazing servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a servant of Harinam Sankirtan. And he was a great devotee of the Lord. So Devananda Pandit had taken shelter of Vakreshwar Pandit. And of course, by serving that high quality of Vaishnava, he realized within his heart what kind of mistakes he had made. And so when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw that now he has taken shelter of a pure Vaishnava, then again he accepted him. Even though he didn't take shelter directly of Srivas Pandit. Now this is our hope. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj, he told that in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur states that when those two guards were beating Haridas Thakur, They had whips, and they were beating him in 22 marketplaces. After the second or third marketplace, already there was nothing left really to beat, but anyhow, they continued beating him to make a point that no Muslim should become a Hindu or chant the names of God. This is beneath them. And so they were teaching everyone, be careful. So at that time, it was quite a heavy situation, very intense. And Haridas Thakur, after 22 marketplaces, these two begged him, please, we understand that you're not an ordinary person. Any ordinary person would have died within 2 or 3 marketplaces. And the fact that you're still alive and still chanting the names of the Lord, this is unprecedented. We know you're not ordinary, but if you don't die, we're going to be killed. So please, you have to die. He said, oh, I don't want to cause problems to anyone. Just see how I die. And immediately he fell over backward. They took his body and gave him a Hindu burial instead of a Muslim burial in the Ganga. He went into the Ganga, he floated down a little bit, came back completely whole and normal, and continued Hare Krishna, chanting. In fact, he did tell them that I forgive you. Before he fell over and before they threw him in, he said, I forgive you. But Srila Govinda Maharaj said, these two, according to Vrindavan Das Thakur, still had to go to hell, although Haridas Thakur said, I forgive you. So how do you reconcile this? Because they were forgiven by the Vaishnava, then why did they have to go to hell?
Krishna didn't forgive him, and the devotees didn't forgive him.
He said, Krishna didn't forgive him and the devotees didn't forgive him. This is why. Because actually, the Vaishnava, especially the high quality Vaishnava, they don't accept any aparad to themselves. Because they're feeling that I am lower than the lowest. What was Haridas Thakur feeling when they were beating him? I deserve this and so much more. Because when the Nawab was criticizing Harinam, the name of Krishna, I stood there silent and I did not fight back. Therefore, I am complicit and I deserve much more than what I was given, this beating. So in his humility, he felt, I deserve this. He wasn't accepting any kind of offense. Trinarapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. If there's something coming unto oneself, they think, oh, this is the mercy of Krishna, or any karmic debt coming to repay me. Why should I fight with that environment? This is favorable. This is the nature of the pure-hearted Vaishnavas. So Haridas Thakur did not accept any offense. And in fact, he said, I forgive you. But Krishna and the other Vaishnavas did not forgive these two. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also. So what happened? They had to go to hell. Now Srila Govinda Maharaj said, how do you know that you've been forgiven by a Vaishnava if you have made aparad to a Vaishnava? He said, when by your sincere mood, your weeping and your sincerity, you again melt their hearts to the degree that they again give you Krishna in the form of Harikatha, then you will know that you've been forgiven. Many, many years ago, in the previous institution that we were in, for some reason, at some strange period of time, they decided on the higher up echelons of the organization that Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was bad. And just saying his name would get you kicked out, and he was criticized so heavily. And that mood was infiltrating the entire society. I was quite young when that mood also was coming into me. It came into my father also. And somebody gave him a book, Sri Guru and His Grace. He looked at it, he saw the name on the front cover, he ripped it up and threw it in the trash. Didn't read a page or anything, saw the name, threw it away. That's how severe that societal aparad was. He told me the year before he left this world something that was quite shocking. It's totally out of his character, but he said that he had come to a point where he felt that he was spiritually dead. And for years he was trying to find the source of what it was that made him feel spiritually dead, because he was so enthusiastic and fired up for years and years and years. And he was praying, what is it? What did I do? What did I do? He didn't know. One day, one devotee, a friend of his, gave him the same book again, about 15 years later. And that time he looked at it and he thought, what kind of person rips up a book and throws it away and doesn't even give it a chance, like to read it? He opened the book and started reading it, and he began weeping and crying. What is this? What have I done? And then he began to repent desperately. He made a vow that whoever he met, wherever he went, he would glorify Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, and if he didn't have a copy of this book to give them, he would recommend it to everyone. But yet Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj had already left this world. So what could he do? But by that sincerity and that repentant mood, he became so desperate for Vaishnava association that Krishna sent a Vaishnava into his life, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, who again gave him Krishna in the form of Harikatha. And he became inspired again and felt life. The reason I'm telling this is because in the life of Devananda Pandit, he didn't directly go to Srivas Thakur, but he had taken shelter of a Vaishnava, Vakreshwar Pandit. And by his mercy, again he received Krishna. And he was then given that shelter of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who had previously avoided him. Because he took shelter of Vakreshwar Pandit, I accept him again. So for us, this is such an important lesson. We must take shelter of, or be under the guidance of, Krishna's dear devotees. The root cause of the awakening of Krishna Bhakti, the root cause is sadhu sangha, association with Krishna's pure devotees. And it doesn't mean just to come and hang out with them, to be in their vicinity, to grab the dust of their feet every time you can. Srila Gurudev explained, sangha means samyak rupena gamana. Samyak rupena gamana. Samyak rupena gamana means that you imbibe their moods and then you apply that in your own practice and in your own life. This is sadhu sangha. Srila Gurudev told us that so many are like mosquitoes. They're coming around, buzzing, talking so much noise, creating disturbance. Then they take a little bit of blood, means your valuable energy, and buzz off. Yes?
Can you do that without taking initiation?
Can you do sadhu sangha without taking initiation? Of course. Ado Shraddha. According to Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the first thing is Shraddha, but how are you going to get Shraddha? There's a preliminary sadhu sangha. There must be, which gives you Shraddha. So Ado sadhu sangha, then Ado Shraddha. First, there's a preliminary sadhu sangha which brings about a faith, which brings about a different kind of sadhu sangha. So one kind of sadhu sangha would be like somebody you meet who has books or who tells you to chant the name of Krishna. Here, have some Krishna prasad, something which helps to bring us toward sadhus. And by that we gain a little shraddha, and that starts to build. And then we take shelter of that kind of sadhu who will give us Krishna, who will give us initiation. Yes? Can you get Krishna Bhakti without accepting Harinam initiation? Yes, our Guru Varga have told yes, but it is extremely rare and we should not count on it. It is the rare exception. Krishna himself can give it, but usually he gives it by the medium of his pure devotee. Yeah, but Kripa, Krishna Kripa Sri Murti, Kripa comes in the form of his pure devotee. That's why Srila Gurudev told that this world is never bereft of the presence of any pure devotee. If it were to be without any pure devotee, not just this world, the entire universe, if it were to be without the presence of a pure devotee, it would cease to exist in a moment, because the purpose for the existence of the material creation and universe, which is for Krishna to give his mercy, that's the purpose of it. Jaiva Dharma chapter 16, I believe, yes. Chapter 16, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Jaiva Dharma, that is the purpose of this entire creation, that Krishna has this tendency, has karunata, the tendency to give mercy and the tendency to be compassionate, and that needs a place to go. The second he has any feeling, it needs a reciprocation. So that tendency to be compassionate and to give mercy needs a place to go. And we are recipients or potential recipients of that mercy. How do we reciprocate with Krishna's tendency to give mercy? By accepting it. How does he give his mercy? That mercy is like the ocean, and that ocean condenses into a very, very thick monsoon rain cloud, which can go over any forest fire and shower its rain. To receive that rain, which means to receive the mercy of Krishna's pure devotees, Sri Guru and the pure Vaishnavas, this is how we reciprocate with his tendency to give mercy, by accepting it and then moving toward him. So those pure devotees come into our lives. Yes, we can receive that, but it is extremely, extremely rare. In general, and the reason why even Bhagavan himself, in the form of Sri Ramachandra, Sri Krishna Chandra, Sri Baladev Prabhu, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, Bhagavan themselves, they have all received Harinam, they have all received Diksha, they have accepted Guru in their lives to teach us by their own example that we require this. So, Srivas Pandit accepted Vakreshwar Pandit, and by his mercy again was accepted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we want to be able to receive the mercy of Krishna, if we want to also become free from our aparads, then instead of thinking that I can get it directly by Krishna, because he will not look upon the face of one who is offensive, blasphemous, or hurtful toward his dear devotees, then we must approach his devotees and beg relief from them for their mercy. We see in the case of Jagai Madhai that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself removed their sins, but it wasn't until Nityananda Prabhu gave them his shelter, and Nityananda Prabhu is Akhanda Guru Tattva. So these two had actually made so many offenses to so many. It is said that they didn't make Vaishnav aparad, but we know that there's not one sin that they did not commit, and they finally struck the head of Nityananda Prabhu where he was bleeding, and Mahaprabhu immediately wanted to behead them. He was calling for his chakra, and Nitai stopped him. You have not come here for that purpose this time. Because in Satya Yuga, the demons and devotees were on different planets. In Treta Yuga, they were in different places. In Dwapara Yuga, they were in the same family. But in Kali Yuga, in the same body. Are you going to kill everybody? You have not come for this. But how great, how wonderful would it be if you can kill the demon within, but allow the devotee to thrive. So by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's two amazing qualities, one, he has two weapons. Do you know his two weapons? What are the two weapons of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Harinam Sankirtan. This is one of his weapons. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the other one is his own beauty. How did Prakashananda Saraswati and the 100,000 Mayavadi sannyasis change from that perspective? They saw the beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they completely followed him at that time. So his beauty is such that he's able to reverse the minds of so many. Imagine, Srila Gurudev said, imagine how beautiful he is. He's not only Krishna, but he's covered by the beauty of Srimati Radhika. So Radha and Krishna combined. How beautiful is Sachinandan Gaurahari. And Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So by these two powerful weapons, Hare Krishna and his beauty, this will change anyone. But even Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is instructed that we should follow this path. The path of taking shelter of a bona fide, pure spiritual master, and then hearing mantra and nam from him, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did himself from Sri Ishwar Puripad, but always being in the association of Vaishnavas. So Krishna Bhakti Janmamul Hoy Sadhu Sangha, this verse we were telling before the questions. The root cause of the awakening of Krishna Bhakti is Sadhu Sangha. And even after the attainment of perfection, which is Krishna Prema Janme Tenho, Puna Mukhya Anga. It is still the most essential thing. Puna Mukhya Anga. The association with Krishna's pure devotees. Even Satyavrat Muni started with Namami Ishwaram, praying directly to Krishna. Then he wanted to see that beautiful Bal Gopal form of Krishna. By the end, and Srila Gurudev told that this Damodarashtakam wasn't something that he composed, sitting down in 20 minutes. It took him millions of years of evolution. So starting with Namam Ishwaram, oh my God, I'm offering prayers to you. Sachidananda Rupam. Then he came to Idam Teva Puranata Gopala Balam. Oh, I only want to have this darshan of this beautiful Bal Gopal form of yours. By the end, what was he praying? Namo Radhikaye Tvadiya Priyaye. Namo Radhikaye Tadiya, your own. Tadiyanam Samarchanam. I'm praying at the lotus feet of your dear most beloved Srimati Radhika. I'm praying to you. So he took shelter of Srimati Radhika. If one wants to attain the shelter of Krishna, then one should take shelter of that personality who is so sweet and so soft-hearted, Karunam Kurumayi, full of mercy and compassion, and that is Srimati Radhika. And if she sees that anyone is sincere, anyone is desperate to serve Krishna, her heart will melt and she will somehow make arrangements for them to become qualified to serve Krishna. So on this day, the day of the disappearance of Devananda Pandit, we are praying in the dust of his lotus feet that may you please be merciful to us. May you please help us. Like you were helped. You were in a very, very desperate situation. We are also in desperate situations. So you were able to come out of that very, very difficult situation. Please give me your mercy so that I can also come out of my very difficult situation. The effect of so many multitudes of aparads binding me in this world and halting my progress on the path of bhakti. Shri Devananda Pandit ki jai, Tadiya Tiro Bhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Rupanuga Gauri Guru Varga ki jai, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Arjun Prabhu ki jai, Gaurav Prabhu ki jai. Hare Krishna.